everybody. This is Jeff, the business guru, coming to you from a hot and warm downtown Manila. And I've got a guest who is the other extreme. She's probably coming from a cold, wet, snowy part. She's coming from the west coast of Canada. So a wonderful person. We've been having a good long chat prior to coming onto here. And I'm going to bring her up here now. Her name the middle name is unusual, Carol Metz Murray. She's a Chief Engagement Officer, People Possibility Alchemist, Naked Leadership Institute, industries, sales, legal, governance. Been in the industry, guys, for a mere 30 years, so she might know a little bit. And if you want to find out what she knows, reach out, have a cup of coffee. Costs you nothing to have a chat, guys, and get a bit of wisdom and exchange ideas with people, right? And here's your perfect opportunity, right? Brief description of a business. The Naked Leadership Institute supports clients, teams, organizations in transforming leadership, building resilience, foresight, and adaptability in a complex environment. Key achievements or projects, professional journey spans roles with local government in Western Canada and Canada North, territorial government, non-profit world, and the private sector. Marking a lifetime of transitions, disruptions, intercultural experiences, and new beginnings. Key project was working tour of Ukraine and Russia after the collapse of the USSR. Personal motto, lead yourself and be inspired to lead others. Interesting fact, she's experienced standing on the Arctic Circle during the summer eclipse. Also, this lady has a mission, and she helps a lot of men. We'll talk more about that. It helps a lot of men find themselves. You get to a stage, guys, you're in your 50s or so, you and your wife have drifted apart, the divorce comes, you're feeling bad about it all, you lose your job, and you're feeling lost, and a lot of guys hit the bottle and all sorts of things, guys. There's always help out there, guys. Someone does care, right? So reach out to people like Carol and get yourself back on track. You know, it's meant to be, it's up to me type of thing. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's meet our guest today. Good evening, Carol. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Jeff. I'm happy to be having this conversation with you.
Me too. It's all about learning and sharing, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's get the show underway. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path of helping others.
Well, what inspired me, Jeff, is, and I go way back in time, as a 5-year-old who grew up on a farm. And my dad said to me one day, he said, Carol, it's time you learned about leadership. So where would you learn about leadership on a farm? And he took me to the pasture and he said, you're going to learn leadership from the horses.
Yep.
Then he took me
Interesting.
to another pasture and he said, and you're going to learn leadership from the turkeys. So a flock of turkeys and a herd of horses.
Well, I was thinking sheep, by the way. I was thinking he might have made you to a sheepdog to herd the sheep.
Well, there was no herding sheep, and it was amazing spending time with the horses as a 5-year-old. I mean, and horses are amazing. They're very emotionally intelligent, and I learned so much from them. And I also learned, learned all about turkeys and leading herds of turkeys would be like sheep. They follow you, but they're probably more outspoken than sheep are. But that began my journey of leadership, and my whole life has been leadership in one form or another. And that's also gotten me into the place of naked leadership as well.
Fantastic. I guess those turkeys would have been pretty worried when you went down there on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, then they ran the other way. They would have nothing to do with me.
Yeah, they won't. They know. People think they don't know, but mate, the animals know more than you think, right?
Yes.
What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that?
For me, the most challenging aspect, Jeff, in leadership is constantly really learning more about you, because the more that the more that you know about yourself, the more that you self-develop, the more that you can help others. And sometimes in my life, there's been some blind spots that it's those have been challenging times to really discover that you had to, I had to get out of my own way. If it was to be, it was up to me, and I had to save myself. Several years ago, I had a coach say to me, Carol, you need a self-image adjustment.
Oh, that's
Well,
nice. I like that
what
one.
in heaven's name do you mean by
It's a good
a
one.
self-image adjustment?
I like that one.
And really, what they meant was, in this case, Carol, you need to go deeper into you as that naked leader to find, more at your core, more of your heart. Let your heart open even wider. So those are the challenge for me, the challenging aspects of being a leader, because the more that I can lead me, the more I can be there for others.
Yeah, great thing. Tell us about an important moment in your career that changed your direction in which you're going.
Well, the most important
Where'd you pivot?
point
Yep.
in my life that changed my career, my focus, was burning myself out so badly that there were days I didn't remember my name.
Right.
And that burnout came because I lived a high stress life from the
Yes.
time I was a little girl until um, in my, I guess, late 30s.
Wow.
And I became a workaholic. I felt that I wasn't enough and wasn't worthy. And so I just worked and worked and worked and worked.
Yep.
And I just did a real number on myself.
You're
And
trying
the
to prove it
day,
to, you're trying to prove it to yourself or prove it to others, do you think?
well, I was to myself and to others,
Yes.
you know. And the day that I drove my vehicle, um, here in Canada, it's in kilometers, but it would be 300 miles. And of those 300 miles, a little over 200, I was totally out of it, not realizing I was even driving the car. And I was living in the far north at the time in the Yukon here in Canada. And so driving on mountainous roads, that was scary.
Yes.
But when I came through all of that and called my doctor, she gave me really great news and said, Carol, if you don't deal with what's going on, you're in burnout. You've
Yes.
lived high stress. Either you deal with it or I'll make you deal with it.
How did you deal with it?
And
How did you do? I'm curious. How did you deal with it?
well, I dealt with it through a variety of different modalities. I changed my work,
Yep.
and really began to um, pay attention to my body.
Spend more
I
me time, right?
Yeah, and because in my body really was a very strong speaker, and I hadn't been paying attention to it.
Listen to your
But
gut.
it was really unwinding and learning to let go of the trauma. And everybody lets go of trauma in a different way, Jeff. For
Yes.
me, it was doing a variety of different programs, doing energy work, but it was to allow my body to open. I changed my diet. I began to exercise, and really, probably the biggest change was I learned how to say no,
Awesome.
and
Don't be a
put
people pleaser.
myself first.
Yeah.
And that really
You have to put
was,
yourself first. Absolutely.
yes. Well, and that was the beginning of naked leadership, of really, truly putting yourself first to serve. I had to learn to serve me so that I could be there to be able to serve others.
Yeah, that's so very true. In your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that along the way that have helped contribute to your success?
For me, one of my big skills, or one of my top skills, is my ability to see the possibilities in others.
Okay.
And another one is my ability to listen,
Yes.
and what I call radically listen
Yeah, you're
to
a great listener.
you.
Yeah.
because when I'm working with you, it's about you. It's not about me.
That's right.
And when you really listen, you pick up all sorts of things. It's not just words. It's absolutely everything and anything about another individual.
Yeah, that's
Another,
that's called
another
empathy.
skill.
Empathy.
Yes,
You
empathy and
got loads of it.
compassion.
Yeah, you got loads of it.
And and another skill, and that's a skill that I continuously work on, is my communication.
Yeah, correct.
It
Yeah, it's so important.
really, really being very mindful and direct with the words that I use
Yes.
in helping someone else.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
when you're listening, even inflections in what they say can be the
Yes,
difference between what's reality and something else, right? You know. Um,
that's right.
so
It's a look on your face, it's a smile, or it's,
yeah, all the
watching
above.
somebody's eyes. It's all of it.
Yeah, or a begrudged sorry. They're not sorry at all.
No.
Yeah, all that. Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field as you do?
Motivation for me is by, like, having this conversation with you is a
Yes,
motivator for me, because here we are having this conversation. We are exchanging knowledge and wisdom, and we're also creating a connection.
yeah,
So
from
for
the other side
me,
of the world, in fact, which is quite
that,
remarkable, isn't it?
yes. So for that, to me, is a motivator. And really and truly, in the work that I do and the people that I'm able to serve, and the clients that come to me, uh, they they are my motivation, because when a client says to me after working with them, is, "Thank you so much for believing in me. You were
Lovely.
the first
Wow,
person that didn't tell me I was silly and stupid, that I wanted to create a business." She said, "You believed in me."
I love it.
That to me is motivation.
Yeah, I'll tell you a
Yeah.
quick backstory. My beautiful ex-wife, my daughter was about 6, and she's always talking about big dreams and dreaming and dreaming. And my wife used to say to her, "Don't be such a dreamer, Jessica," in a stern voice. And she was really pissed off when I went out and I bought this big poster and I put it up on my daughter's bedroom wall, and it said, "The world is made up of dreamers, dreamers like Einstein, dreamers like Abraham Lincoln, rah, rah, rah." So, and my wife was pissed off because I said, and then the bottom of it said, "Keep dreaming. The world needs more dreamers." You know,
Yes.
and that's what I believe. But my ex-wife she's a lovely girl, but she's a total opposite, right? She was more of a negative, and that was a waste of time, all that. I got to,
Well,
yeah,
dreaming is important, because
absolutely,
with dreams, we continue to create. I mean, the
yes,
dreams are telling us or showing us what's there for us to create. And then inevitably, we will create what we dream about.
yeah. It's another one. I'll
Yeah.
tell you a quick one.
Yes.
My daughter
Absolutely.
went to a leading girls' school, right? We were quite wealthy, so I went to one of the alleged better schools. I'll tell you, the public schools are probably better. Anyway, went to this leading girls' school, and my daughter went to school one day, and they said, "Oh, we want you to do an essay about a superhero," right? So my daughter comes home, spends a couple of hours, does her essay, and they go to school and they've got to read out their essay in front of the class, and she reads out, "Oh, my dad is a superhero, blah blah blah," and the teacher failed her and said, "No, Jesse, you've got to write about real heroes like Superman and Batman." Right? It's so funny, right, to us, right? And
Yeah.
here's this kid writing about how wonderful her dad is, which should be commended and put at the top of the
Yes.
pile. And there's a stupid teacher talking about bloody Superman. Oh, you got to laugh, don't you? So that's the education system for you guys. The best education you get is life. And Carol and I have got the bruises to show you.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's fun stuff. Tell us about a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of.
Project that I worked on last year in 2024.
Yes.
Very proud that we were able to open up a facility. We call it an interim transitional housing facility for men and families who are fleeing domestic violence.
Wow.
And that's a major accomplishment because there aren't many supports for men and families who are dealing with family conflict. And we worked on it all of 2024. I did work with a team, but it was just so wonderful to be able to say, here are the keys and here are services, and
Lovely.
away we go. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah. That's congratulations on doing that. That's wonderful. Um,
Yeah.
what advice would you give someone, a younger version of yourself, aspiring to follow in your footsteps? Would you say listen to the turkeys, or what would you say, what would you tell them to do?
Well, yes, that would be, yes, go find a flock of turkeys and see,
Yeah.
learn to lead with them. Really and truly, someone stepping into leadership
Yes.
is take some risks,
Yes.
be adventurous with life, and be curious.
Yeah. Absolutely. Follow your dreams.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
And in the process of all of that, keep asking lots and lots of questions.
Yeah, get a
You know,
mentor.
it's
I tell people, get a mentor. Get someone who's done it, guys, and save years off the journey. Reach out to people like Carol. Get their wisdom. Ask her advice. Ask her opinion. She may
yeah,
or may not be right, but ask, right? And
yeah,
then digest
ask.
it all. I've picked up 3 or 4 wonderful things in our conversation that I'll be turning into blogs and sharing her wisdom with the world, so it's awesome. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You've got a long way ahead of you. What are you looking at doing?
Well, as I move forward with naked leadership, I a goal that I have is to get my own book published.
Lovely.
I am a 5 times collaborative author, but now it's time for me to do that. And also looking at podcasts because leadership is evolving and it's that mentorship, that continuous learning is needed, and
Way to
as
learn.
well, more public speaking. I love public speaking. I love to
Oh, it's
be
just
able
virtually
to,
public speaking as well. Because you're talking to the world, right? So podcasts
yes,
are an awesome way, an awesome. You're on the right track. It's an awesome
yes,
journey and there's so many interesting people out there we can talk to, And I guess everyone likes to talk about themselves, but those people that are talking are sharing knowledge and wisdom and experiences, and it just opens up their mind. I'm loving it, right?
hmm
How can our listeners and people watching this wonderful show, and who want to learn more about you, how can they do that? What's the best way to find out more about you?
there's 2 ways. They can go to my website,
Yeah,
which is uh, www.carolmetzmurray.com,
lovely,
or they can find me on LinkedIn at Carol Metzmurray. Those are the 2 best ways to get a hold of me.
lovely. And also, we'll be putting Carol's details right across all, as we would for you, anyone else come on the show, across all the social media channels, including your Facebook group, your Facebook pages, your LinkedIn's, your Reddit, your Quoras, all those platforms, guys, and particularly YouTube, but with all your social media links, so people can actually sit back and have a look at the journey, and then if they wish to contact Carol and have a chat. That's the way to do it, guys. Especially you men out there. You're feeling all isolated and all alone. You're not alone. There's plenty, dozens of people, hundreds of people all over the world who are there to help you. They're only a phone call or a Zoom call away, guys. So, pick up that phone, hop on that Zoom, and talk to people like me and Carol. We're there to help you. We'll send you along the journey. Before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself, Carol, that people don't know.
Well, great question. A fun fact about me is that a few years back, I ended up doing mountain climbing, mountain face climbing. Not that I'd ever done it before, Was it fun? It was incredibly scary, but it was
I can
part of,
imagine.
it was part of this of a hike. It was part of the hiking trail that I was on, and if I wanted to keep going forward, I had to actually climb the mountain face. And guess what? Did it. Did it. And
Challenge.
when I got to the top and rolled over onto the top of the mountain, I had a really great laugh. But yeah, you can do it. So yes, that's it was a fun fact. It's
Not for me. Not me. I'm not going mountain climbing. Yeah, but
it just was, yeah.
it does sound awesome. You know, I've still got to go skydiving yet. That's on my bucket list. So I might do it at 80, a couple more years. I might go skydiving. I will go skydiving. You know, it's simple as that. So I've got a
Hmm.
few things on my bucket list. You know, crazy stuff. Carol, you've been an awesome guest. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed my time with you and I look forward to hearing from your guests, and you are a wonderful host. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.